Hello everyone, I'm in Sardinia, Ohio, and it's train time on the Cincinnati Eastern Railroad. I'm over here at the rebuilt railroad crossing. See right there? Remember how it used to have a single track and it had the old Norfolk and Western color position signals over there? The whole thing's been completely rebuilt. Added the gates, new lights, everything. And we are right here at the Y, at the east leg of the Y. You can see where the Y wraps around that way. That's the east leg. You've got the B36-7 stored here, and this is where they do their locomotive maintenance. Go ahead and start the video, son. Here we go. Sardinia, Ohio, Cincinnati Eastern Railroad. All right, there's the top of the rail before the train comes. And this is a brand new section of rail here too, right at the railroad crossing in Sardinia. See that? It's all brand new rail. Okay, these gates should kick on at any time. Look at this. Brand new gates. Got a bell on top right there. You got Sardinia concrete right across the road. These gates are going to kick on at any time now. Not right when I turn away from it. Bell sounds awesome, doesn't it? Ooh, it's windy. It's always windy this time of year. Check out this view. Haven't got this one yet. It's gonna be a good train. It's got a load of railroad ties on it. Load of ties and all rock. Over 20 cars. Here we go. Westbound going past the Sardinia Y with the new locomotives that they got. SD40-2's leading. They're new to the railroad. When I say new, I just mean new to Cincinnati Eastern Railroad. Obviously they're not brand new locomotives. Let's get them again somewhere too. Let's have a look at the rail. See how shiny it got. Yep, nice and shiny. We're going to chase the train to the hill, so don't go away. Here we go. Glad wait, there's more. There always is. Hey, I'm at Bean Road right now, just outside of Sardinia. Trains be coming from that way. This is where they used to have a defect detector. It's still there, but it's not turned on. This was 45.3. I was able to pick that up from my house easily. Every time a train would come through here on Norfolk Southern, I'd know about it. And of course, like I said before, I used to own this land right next to the tracks. 5 acres right there. I sold that when Norfolk Southern announced they were closing. And it's got over 1,000 foot of frontage alongside the tracks. Here comes the train. When I owned the property, this was only crossbuck protected. So these gates and lights will have been here for just a few years. All right, here we go. Getting the other side of the train this time. I got away from the engineer there. That was awesome. The first car on this train has railroad ties. It came from Peebles. It came from McCoy Lumber and Peebles. The rock comes from Heidelberg and Plum Run. I'm not sure how many loads of rock there are. I know it's over 20. I'm gonna guess 23, 24 loads, something like that. So that's a good one. Got a heavy train. So they're passing the old defect detector right now. If this was, say, 2005, I would have been at home. Even after 2005, I would have been at home. I would have heard milepost 45.3, no defects. That's what I would have heard on my scanner. They used that up until somewhere around 2016 or so. I'm just guessing. I'm within a year or so, because I know that Cincinnati East Terminal Railroad actually used those defect detectors for Cincinnati East Terminal Railroad. The name changed to Cincinnati Eastern Railroad probably 7 years or so ago, something like that. But I've actually got videos with the audio from the defect detectors. This one, Winchester, and another one somewhere, I forgot. Anyways, let's go get them again. Okay, I'm at Sisley Road, and they're getting ready to go over this old bridge. Simple truss bridge here, close to 100 years old. Somebody said they wanted to see the other side of the bridge. There you go. Now let's go to Mount Orab and get them again. Have a look at the bridge here. Okay, that was something a little different. All right, we are in Mount Orab right now. there's the port caboose. It is really windy today. Sorry about all that wind. Wow. Just all of a sudden kicked up right when I started filming again. There's the train station. And there's the railroad tracks. Let's go down here somewhere and get the train. There's one of those signs for the against the data center. And here comes the train right now. I got Jesse with me today too. All right, the conductor is up there at the crossing. There's a couple other rail fans chasing the train too. There's a rail fan right there chasing the train. So the conductor's up at the crossing. He's doing a roll-by inspection. You'll hear him on the radio in just a second. He operates. There you go. Good on the roll-by. See you at Brooks. Okay, let's go on up the road and get them again.
60 seconds, get out of here.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic here. Downtown Mount Orab, Ohio. We are now at Bodman Road, just west of Mount Orab. This is an interesting piece of property right here. I wish this property come for sale. It's probably just a few acres. I'd buy it and clean it all up. Yeah, I've been watching trains on this line for over 50 years. Somewhere in the early 70s is when I first started watching trains on this line. I remember going down to Parenttown, and there's a road down there called Benning Road. My best friend at the time, his relatives owned the farm on Benning Road. So I'd go to visit them with him. We'd climb up in the barns, we'd go down the railroad tracks and watch the trains. And then my dad was in a country western band, and they used to practice at Afton. There was a house in Afton. The railroad tracks were right behind it. So I'd go over there while he's practicing guitars. I'd go and watch the trains go by. This is a nice crossing right here. This one just got the lights, gates, bell, all that stuff. Probably 10 years or so ago, something like that. All these crossings were crossbuck protected when I first moved out in this area. And they're slowly getting the crossing gates and lights and everything. So it should be here anytime. I've ridden across this line 2 round trips to Portsmouth and back on the 611 steam train. Ridden that twice. Once in the 80s, once in the 90s. Got away from the engineer, that's always awesome. We almost lost this line. Norfolk Southern tried to close this line down. This part of the line went for almost 11 months without a train. And then the grain elevator wanted to use the rail, so they brought the locomotive back to the grain elevator. They got an SW9 at the grain elevator in Winchester. They used to lease it. They leased it from NRE. I believe they're in Illinois, National Railroad Equipment. And then they bought it when they brought the engine back to them. They bought the SW9, and I've got videos of it leaving and coming back. Really historic videos too. There you go. There's the gates working properly. That was pretty cool. There's Eastwood Road. Train's way off in the distance. I'm gonna go get the locomotives here. And that first car, the gondola car with the railroad ties. Now we're going to Williamsburg, to the hill. But wait, there's more. I'm in downtown Williamsburg at Gay Street on the hill. We'll get the train come up the hill. Dual lights right over there. And their employees park right there. Been here a few times when they've let out right when the train was coming. And a lot of them go this way. Here's the crossing. I hear the train coming. It's going to be coming up the hill from that direction right there. Here's top of the rail before the train gets here. It'll be shined up in a minute. All right, here we go. I'm in 4K for this shot. Try not to move it too much. Notching down a little bit. They're getting to the top of the grade. Wow, that sounded really good. They're still working hard. The sound of those locomotives coming up this hill never gets old. I just heard the little switcher on the radio. They're at Afton Yard doing some switching. The MP15 DC. I can hear them on the radio. Afton Yard's only a couple miles ahead. This train will stop at Afton Yard. Let's have a look at the rail. Nice and shiny. There you go. Thanks for watching my videos. Got some live action going on. I'm gonna have to get my scanner turned back on that frequency. 155.175. All right, here's the rail. By the way, there was a car wreck on 133. It's probably about a half mile from here. 2 cars in a wreck, and the ambulance and fire truck just pulled up. That's what that was in the distance where I showed the fire truck going across the crossing. They were going to a 2-car wreck. Occupants are out of the vehicle and they're checking right now. All right, this is 132 pounds per yard, rolled by Bethlehem Steelton. It was rolled in 1981, January of 1981. There you go. These tie plates are probably from the 1940s. And there's a 1945 tie plate right there. Underneath the date, there's a 1947 plate. All right, Jesse, Blicky,
here.
Hi, Jesse.
Come here.
Thanks for watching. I appreciate your views. If you got time, check out another of my videos. It helps my channel out and helps pay the gas. All right, we'll see you later. We got the live action pets and the slideshow coming up. There you go. They're not working. Hey, Heritage Unit. Well, there you go. It's out of commission. Been out of commission a little bit over a week. Heritage engine. I'm not sure when the last time was I saw that one. That was a good one. Thanks for watching, everyone. That was a good one there at the closed railroad crossing, Walton, Kentucky.